Hello, my name is Kim Peterson, and with me today is Catherine Evans, as always, and we are we are the authors of Creative Writing Energy. Hey Kath, how are you doing?
Good, Kim. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Long time no see.
I know, ages, isn't it?
What you been
I've
up?
got a creative. Oh, sorry.
I said, what you been up to? What you doing?
Oh, I've got a creativity prompt for today.
Cool. What you got?
Well, this is a bit of a crazy one today, but anyway, have a 10-minute chat, like whether that's a mental chat or you stream of consciousness on paper, to your favorite character and see what they have to say to you. So that can be a character that you've read, written, seen on telly, whatever.
Explore the character.
Or maybe the character has a message for you.
Nice. I like it. So today we're going to talk about sex.
In book.
Sex in book. So, considering that we are talking about sex, I've chosen my Lover's Oracle cards to pull today. Lovers. And the one I just pulled is playfulness. I know you can't read it. There's a bit of writing there, so I'll read it out as playfulness. Laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together, and remember, love is the greatest healer.
Very
like
nice.
It's nice.
Nice.
You gonna pull a card?
Yes. No puns on the pulls either, are you? Anyway, trust vibes again.
Never.
And this is our card. Oh,
nice. I like it.
yeah. Get a new story.
Get a new story. Cool.
Wow. Okay.
So, sex, Kath. You were just about to start an online course with RWA, right? And that course is about sex. Want to tell us about it?
It's called Getting Comfortable Writing Sex. It's not all about sex.
No, I just can't help myself. I'm gonna say it.
But yeah, I saw RWA were calling for workshops. They do online workshops, and that's RW Australia, not America. And we it was like just click. My brain went, oh, sex. I have to do a workshop on getting comfortable writing sex. Of course, and that's because Catherine doesn't write sex and avoids it at all costs and isn't comfortable talking about it. But my other part of me, Kate
your wild part.
Talks about it. Yeah, wild me.
Yeah.
And Kate's quite comfortable and has become quite comfortable and has challenged herself. Like my Kate Elling blog, I've gone places where, it's probably led me to doing this with you.
Sure.
Catherine would never do. Yeah. So
I bring out the wild part of you.
Yeah, well, I think you have to have a supportive place to be able to become wild, to tap into those bits. Like I don't know how everyone else was brought up, but I was brought up that you don't talk about sex, religion, and politics. And religion, well, I do talk about that a bit, but I often don't question a lot, but I don't criticize other people's choices. Politics, I try to avoid talking about that because I often don't have the same views as most people. And sex always end up in trouble when I talk about sex.
Well, it's funny. It's a lot of people get comfortable and uncomfortable when you talk about sex. you know, but it's something that most of us do and enjoy, you know.
Yeah.
But God forbid you bring up something like masturbation.
Or anything. Like I had a cousin come up to me and you know, tell me he didn't want to hear anything about the shit that I wrote, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, but behind
You know,
closed doors.
Yeah. Well, he has 4 kids, you know, he's had sex at least 4 times. You know,
Mm.
what are you meant to do? You know, like, you can't hide that. Well,
No.
you can. If you
And-
have no kids, you can hide that you've never had sex.
Yeah.
But if you have kids, you know, you've had sex, haven't you? Like,
Yeah. And then there's like the other end of the spectrum, you know, where it's just completely over publicized and used, you know, it's like in our face,
again,
you know, that's you know, the one thing that really gets me, and I'm not a prude, like I'm far from it, I'm just not, but you know, as a parent to girls, 2 girls, and one's a teenager and the other one's, you know, a bit younger, I'm so aware, and the boys too, you know, of, you know, the music clips where they've got the, you know, women around in wearing nothing, and they're just like, you know, sex objects to men. I can't stand that. I can't stand how it demoralizes women as a woman. I'm just thinking, well, far out, man, you know.
yeah.
I don't like it. It sort of promotes inequality to me, really.
Yeah.
You know, but as far as
Don't get me started on patriarchy.
I know. Let's not go there.
God. I'll get on my high horse.
I know. That's been one sore spot with me. You know, that'll always kind of get me flaming a bit, and
Yeah.
you know,
That double standard for women. God, that's my bugbear, and that's part of it. Is that, you know, women are sexualized and you know, it's in your face all the time.
But, you know, but it's the women that do it. I'm like,
yeah.
what the
But
frick
then,
thinking? Like, you know, you're giving us a bad name. Like,
but
you know,
but then they're supposed, women are supposed to be either a whore or the Madonna, the Virgin. You know, like, there's 1,000 things in between those 2 extremes. You know, but that's all you given. Oh.
But you know, this is where we can maybe sort of help with the strong characters, strong female characters that we write. I know you love strong female characters. I love strong female characters, but I also love to give them a bit of vulnerability and all that kind of thing. As far as sex scenes go, you know, they're quite difficult to write at times, aren't they? What are your secrets?
My secrets.
Oh, what have you got to?
It depends which me I'm doing. If it's Catherine, sex scenes are the hardest things in the world to write. I avoid them because you know, most people I know don't like that I have, you know, they can't deal with Kate. Kate's explicit and swears, you know, and that's and people don't deal with that. So Catherine avoids sex because then people will talk about those books and not be completely embarrassed about them and ignore them. And for me, I had to write one where a publisher asked, I had to write a sex scene, and the book had to be sexy, and that was incredibly difficult. It was the hardest sex scene I've ever written because I had to write it like I write for Kate, and then cut it back to something that people might like. Yeah, and yeah, I don't know. That's not the sex scene I want to write. I hate purple prose. I hate euphemisms for body parts. You know, It just drives me nuts. And I hate
vagina.
Yeah. And I hate women being put into a submissive role in sex. You know, I like women to be strong in sex, you know, to ask for what they want, to, you know, to have that confidence and the knowledge to, you know, match it with the male in the sex act. And in the romance genre, that's I think it's changing now, but with traditional romance readers, they want the woman to be submissive. They want her to be, if not virginal, then not terribly experienced, and pretty much getting over fear of sex or something like that. And you know, doesn't do it for me. Yeah.
So I wonder, this is
what's your question?
No, I won't go there.
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have as much sex written in the written word experience as you. I mean, I do put them in my books, and at times I can find them challenging to write because I never know how far to go and what's expected. Say, like, you know, in I'm sort of doing a post-pop vampire series at the moment, and I popped a sex scene in, and I'm just and I didn't know kind of how far to take it, you know. So I guess it kind of ended up a sexy love scene rather than anything, you know, explicit.
Yeah, and that's a really hard thing to judge because readers can be quite touchy about touchy. Oh God, here I go.
The review.
They can be quite sensitive about what you know, what you've written, especially in sex scenes. Sex scenes, people either love them or hate them, and you know, if they hate them, I think you've lost a reader most of the time. You know, it kind of,
you know, like the people that are picking up your erotica books that they know and they expect some good hard sex scenes, right?
Well, I hope so. They'll be shocked otherwise. But that's kind of part of the issue too, is that some people pick it up not knowing what it's going to be, or their definition of erotica is different to mine, and you know, they don't want in-your-face sex. They don't want to, you know, it written the way I write it or something.
Yeah. You should go for like cozy romance or something.
I don't know. And some people, I don't know how some people, you know, like I have a science background, did biology. Sex is something, you know, natural to me. Animals have it, people have it, you know, it's no big deal. But and I don't know, I must think about it a lot more than other people, because I have a book with a male, female characters, so a threesome, but my two men have sex because, you know, why would you have a threesome if the men aren't going to be involved with each other? But one of my friends who has gay male friends was quite shocked by the male sex scene that I'd written, and
it's not the norm, is it? It's usually like it's not the norm. Like, it's usually threesomes would be like, you know, two women and a man.
Yeah. Well, she was like, oh my God, I didn't know men had sex like that. How do you know that stuff? And I was like,
how did they have sex?
How do you not know how men have sex? You know, like I couldn't. It's not something that I don't know. I didn't even know how I know or why I know. I just thought everybody knew stuff like that. So sometimes I think I write sex scenes. Maybe they're shocking.
Do you draw from experience?
What's that? as a girl, how would I know male sex scenes?
No, just like, in general. Don't blush.
Well, in my workshop, I've told people not to talk about personal sex because I think, that's another one of my bugbears, is that because you write erotica or sex scenes, people assume that you're writing from personal experience. And maybe you are, but that's your own,
but,
your private life, isn't it?
Definitely. But you could say that about any genre. I mean, Well,
if you're a crime or a horror writer, people are going to assume that you've killed people or, gone investigating deaths or hooked up with witches, like, I think that double standard in the literary world is wrong. Maybe
it's because, like you said, everyone does it and everyone has it. So they kind of just assume,
Yeah. Well, sadly, I've never had a threesome with 2 men. Or 3 men.
Sadly.
Well, I'd like to.
Me either. I can say that.
But yes.
Interesting.
Yes. How about you?
How about me? I didn't have a threesome with 2 men.
No, but when you write sex scenes, do you do your characters take over the sex scene and write it from their perspective rather than you coming in with an agenda and writing it for them?
I don't necessarily come in with an agenda. I just go with the flow.
So your characters their own sex
but
scene.
I do find it challenging to write. I do. I probably spend more time writing a sex scene than than anything. Oh, and fighting scenes, they get me as well, because you got to kind of go through the actions and make it sound. And the same thing with sex,
yes, it's a balance
as far as the actual capturing emotion. Yes, and as far as capturing the essence of the scene with sex, I do draw from experience, like how things feel and how it feels when something is going on, and you can feel that build up in you and that longing, and then that all important orgasm when so you do kind of draw from experience. It doesn't mean that you're humping around like a bat out of hell like you said, but you did. But you do you have to you have to
make it real.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah, so is there any other last tips that you want to give out about sex and writing before we head off?
Well, I think one thing that lets me write it as Kate is that I don't censor when I write. So when I write my sex scene, I'm not going back for words. I'm not editing. I'm not going, oh my God, don't go there. I just let it all out. I just let it go. So there's sex, there's swearing. If I'm doing a threesome, I don't try to balance all the body parts either. I leave all that technical stuff for editing. And also I go back when I'm editing to work out if, in erotica, you're not just chucking in the sex scene just for the hell of having a sex scene in there. You want it to work in the story for some, especially erotic romance. You want it to work in for character development or relationship development. So yeah, I'll go back after and think, what's the purpose of this sex scene? Have I got the essence of what it needs to be in this sex scene?
Yeah,
it's when I'm writing
using the sex scenes to help drive the story forward.
Yeah. It can't just be in there for gratification or it's porn.
Did you ever read 50 Shades of Grey?
Well, I intended to read it, and I got some part way through it. And
oh, really?
I had a very open discussion with my father about 50 Shades of Grey, and I forgot I was discussing with my father. And I brought up all the issues I had in it, which included, I don't know about you when you lost your virginity, but it wasn't 3 pushes and orgasm. I'm talking to my father. Anyway, he just laughed and said, no, it wasn't like that either.
Wow.
Anyhow,
I think, you know, that's
how do
interesting
you
because
go with 50 Shades of Grey?
pretty much the same as you. I know I started reading it because, you know, all this hype was going on about it. And this was back in, before I even sat down to write Millie. I couldn't get through it. I think I got to the part where she lost her virginity, you know, and I was like, maybe a little bit after, maybe chapter 4 or something, and I was like, oh, this is just fucked. I didn't like it. The writing didn't grab me. I didn't like it. Hey?
It broke open the market. I thought it was brilliant as a tool to put sex on the society's agenda and break open the market.
Yeah.
Did a fantastic job at that.
Yeah.
But why it became so popular, it still eludes me.
I know, it eludes me too. It's funny how things like that are happening. You think, whoa. Yeah. Anyway.
How lucky.
Good for her.
I know.
Good for her.
We want to be her.
Well. Alrighty, well, how'd your card go for the session?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Get
what
a
did you
new
pick again?
story.
Yeah, get a
Do I have to tell a new
sex
story?
And mine was playfulness, so.
Well, we made it playful, haven't we?
Love is the greatest healer, you know, and really, sex is really the crutch of love. An expression of love. An expression, the ultimate expression of love, right? Yeah.
Or maybe not. Can be just sex, can't it?
It can, yeah, to a lot of people. But, you know, to people that love each other and, you know, it can be a very sacred, sacred and beautiful experience when 2 people that are in love come together and just fuse.
Yeah. See, that's where I need to go next. Maybe that's my new story.
Where I need to go next.
A tantric sex story with a really deep connection.
Nice. That would be really interesting.
Yeah.
I think I need to go there too.
Yeah, I think it'd be a nice way to go.
Alrighty.
Maybe that's the new story.
Yeah, there you go. So, if you want to find out any more about us and what we're doing, head over to Whispering Ink Press and Creative Writing Energy, and you'll find out more there and get in touch and all that kind of thing. And happy sexing writing to you.
Yes. If you have any questions, just ask.
Ask.
Not about it.
Kate. Ask Kate. Kate's on it.
That's it.
Alrighty. Catch you later, guys. Bye.
Bye.